නමාමි බුද්ධං ගුණසාගරන්තං සත්තා සදා හොන්තු සුඛී අවේරං කායෝ ජිගුංචෝ සකලෝ දුගන්ධෝ ගච්ඡන්ති සම්මේ මරණං අහංච නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the supremely enlightened one. 3 refuge. Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dhamma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. A second time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. A second time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A second time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. A third time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. A third time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A third time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. 5 precepts. Panchasila. Phanati pata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the training to abstain from taking life. Adinādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the training to abstain from stealing. Kāmesu micchācārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the training to abstain from sexual misconduct. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the training to abstain from false speech. Surameraya majjapama daṭṭhāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the training to abstain from intoxicating drinks and drugs causing heedlessness. Buddha Vandana. Homage to the Buddha. Itipiso bhagavā araham sammā sambuddho vidyācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්ම සාරති සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානම් බුද්ධෝ භගවාති. Such indeed the exalted one, worthy, supremely enlightened, endowed with knowledge and conduct, well gone, knower of the world, incomparable trainer of persons to be tamed, teacher of deities and men, enlightened and exalted. Dhamma Vandana, homage to the teachings of the Buddha. Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditthiko Akaliko Ehi Passiko Opanayiko Panchantang Veditambo Vinyuhiti. Dhamma is well expounded by the exalted one. Visible results, immediately effective, calling one to come and see, leading onwards, and to be personally realized by the wise. Sangha Vandana, homage to the noble disciples of the Buddha. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujjopatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidan Chantari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pongalam Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakkineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuntaram Punyakentam Lokansati. The order of the exalted ones, disciples, is practicing well. The order of the exalted ones, disciples, is practicing rightly. The order of the exalted ones, disciples, is practicing correctly. The order of the blessed ones, disciples, is practicing properly. The four pairs of persons, the 8 kinds of individuals. This is Buddha's disciples is worthy of offerings and hospitality, worthy of gifts and salutation, the supreme field of merit for the world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gaccantu Devatam Sandhammang Munirajassa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badantam Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badantam Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badantam. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Upaniyati loko andhuvo අත්තානෝ ලෝකෝ අනබිස්සරෝ අස්සකෝ ලෝකෝ සම්බං පහාය ගමනීයං ඌනෝ ලෝකෝ අතිත්තෝ තණ්හා දාසෝති. Venerable members of the Mahasangha, friends in Dhamma, today you hope to listen to Buddha's message, the Sutta discussion that we have been doing for 3 months on Saturdays. Before we start in the Sutta discussion, first of all we are going to practice a meditation technique for our inner peace. At the beginning of the sermon, we are going to practice mental culture, a meditation technique for our inner peace. For that, friends in Dhamma, please get ready for sitting meditation. Please relax your body. Straight your body. Close your eyes gently, please. Be aware of your body posture from your head to legs and from your legs to head. And please take a deep breath in. Hold few seconds. And breathe out slowly. Again take a deep breath in. Hold few seconds. And breathe out slowly. Relax your body, please. And now keep your attention around the nose or upper lip in the present moment. And keeping your attention around the nose or upper lip, now we are going to practice loving kindness meditation. We spread loving kindness thoughts to everyone, those who are in this world. May all beings at this home be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this city be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this state be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this country be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this continent be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this planet, the earth, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this solar system be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this galaxy, the Milky Way, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this universe be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this entire world be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. I see that all over the world, like my family, like my relatives and friends, I spread loving kindness thoughts to everyone, those who are in this world. I bless everyone. I see everyone like my only son or daughter. I am friendly with everyone in this universe. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. Every moment, my body changed, mind also changed. My entire life is that body and mind. Body and mind are impermanent. Every moment, my physical body arises and ceases. Mind also arises and ceases. My entire life is body and mind. With details, my life is that five aggregates: Rupa, form, Vedana, feeling, Sanya, perception, Sankhara, mental formations, and Vijnana, consciousness. Every moment, these five aggregates arise with conditions, and they immediately cease when conditions cease. My entire life is the present moment. Since my past has ceased, future hasn't come yet. The present moment is that five aggregates. These five aggregates arise together, they cease together. Nothing comes to the present from the past, nothing will not go to future from the present. Every moment, these five aggregates arise and they cease. Whenever I contemplate on this reality, my mind is not fixed anything outside or even inside. I am mindful and wise about which happens to my life. Whenever I reflect on impermanence of my body and mind, at the moment, my mind doesn't depend on anything outside or even inside mind. It means I am away from ignorance. I am away from ignorance means I am free from suffering. Whenever my mind doesn't depend on outside material things, I don't touch the suffering of decay, suffering of aging, suffering of sickness, death, and separation. My mind is free from all the sufferings which depends on ignorance. Whenever I reflect on impermanence, it means I live with mindfulness and wisdom. The success of my life is that getting rid of suffering. Getting rid of suffering depends on living with mindfulness, contemplating on insight meditation, vipassana bhavana, reflecting on impermanence, arising and ceasing of five aggregates. In this situation, I increase the duration of practicing mindfulness, reflecting on impermanence of five aggregates. Every moment, five aggregates arise and cease. I see this reality as much as I can. I increase the duration of practice in insight meditation or reflecting on impermanence, which is the real success of my spiritual life, which helps me to overcome suffering completely from the samsaric circle. Everything is impermanent. Everything is dissatisfactory. All phenomena are selfless. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Venerable members of the Mahasangha, friends in Dhamma, at this moment we are going to discuss a discourse which comes in Majjhima Nikaya, named Rattapala Sutta. Rattapala means a householder's name. When Buddha lived in India before 2500 years ago, on one occasion, the Supreme Buddha was in Kuru country. The Buddha arrived at a town of Kuru named Tullakottita. There, the exalted one was preaching Dhamma for many people. When Buddha was delivering Dhamma for many people, a householder, clansman, a son of millionaire, named Rattapala, saw that there are many people who are going to meet the Buddha and listening to Dhamma. When he saw that many people were going to see the Buddha, he also wanted to meet the Supreme Buddha. Therefore, he decided to go to the monastery where the Buddha was lived at that time. When he went to the Buddha, Buddha was preaching Dhamma for many people. He seated in the corner of assembly and he was listening to what the Buddha explained. End of the sermon, he was so happy about the sermon what the Buddha delivered, and he went to near the Buddha, and also he talked to the Buddha. He discussed with the Buddha, and he said something to the Buddha. He says, Bhante, I listened to your sermon. I was so happy. I think that as a lay person, it is difficult to practice this path completely. Therefore, my intention is that to become a monk. Therefore, please give me a chance to become a monk in your dispensation. At that moment, Buddha says, Rattapala, you can become a monk, but first of all, you need to get the permission from your parents. That is one of the rules in the Buddha's dispensation. He said that, Bhante, I will get the permission from my parents. And he went back to the home. He asked his parents for permission to become a monk. But his parents had only one son. His father was a millionaire. Rattapala was the only person who was their son. In this situation, his parents didn't give permission him to become a monk. But Rattapala didn't give up his courage and intention. his desire. He asked again and again his parents for become a monk. Still, he couldn't get the permission. Therefore, he started starvation, abstaining from having food for many days. Finally, however, his parents gave him permission to become a monk. Having the permission from the parents, Rattapala went to the Buddha and was ordained near the Supreme Buddha. Having advice for his spiritual life, he went to a forest for meditation. He spent several months by meditating and practicing Dhamma. Finally, he could attain enlightenment, what he desired. After became an Arahant, he wanted to meet the Buddha and his parents. First of all, he went back to the Buddha and explained his spiritual development, his spiritual goals, and spiritual achievements. Buddha was happy about his spiritual development. After that, Reverend Rattapala, now the Arahant Rattapala, wanted to meet his parents. For that, he went for begging food along the road of his parents' house. When he was begging food, he went to his parents' home. He begged some food, but he couldn't find anything. Later, his parents understood him and gave food for him. Finally, he delivered the Dham for their parents and came back to a very special place, a garden of the king Koravya. He was meditating and getting a rest in a garden or park of the king of Koravya. While he was getting a rest in the garden of the king Koravya, the king knew that this Rattapala Thera has come to his garden and meditating. King Koravya wanted to meet this person and ask some questions. Therefore, he went to the garden or park and discussed with him. Here, there was a very interesting discussion. The king says, Reverend Rattapala, Master Rattapala, I see that there are some reasons some people become monkhood. Some of people become monkhood some reasons. He says that there are 4 reasons that I have seen why some people become monkhood. He says that there are 4 lots of things some people become monkhood. What they are? He says that lost through aging, some people become monkhood. Lost through sickness, some people become monkhood. Loss of wealth, some become monkhood. Loss of relatives and friends, some are ordained. But I see in your life, you have no these reasons, problems in your life. Koravya says that some people become monkhood, lost through aging, lost through sickness, loss of wealth, loss of relatives and friends. He says that, Master Rattapala, you are already in the young age. you are so young, and also you are very healthy. You have no sicknesses, and also you are very rich. You are the only son of a millionaire. You are wealthy, and also you have relatives and friends. You have still your parents too. In this situation, why you became a monastic life? What are the reasons that you became a monk? King Koravi asked Bhante Rattapala. At this moment, Reverend Rattapala says very special reasons why he became a monk. He says, Upaniyati loko adduo. The life is unstable and swept away. That is the first reason why he became a monk. Day by day we are going to old age. We are reaching the death. That is one of the reasons he became a monk. Arahant Rattapala says to Koravya king, the king Koravya, life is unstable and swept away. This is one of the summaries of the Dhamma explained by the Exalted One who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, knowing and seeing. Here in this, I went forth from the lay life into the monastic life. The very first reason why he became a monk is that he knew that one day he is going to old age. One day he have to leave everything. That is why he became a monk in the very young age. The second reason that he says, Attano loko anibisaro. Life has no shelter, no protector. This is the second summary of the Dhamma explained by the Exalted One who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, seen and knowing. And here in this, I went forth from the lay life into the monastic life, holy life. The second reason why Rattapala became a monk is that he knew that there are no real shelter or protection. Even though we have a lot of friends and relatives, one day there is a situation that no one can help us. That is also one of the reasons why he became a monk. Again he says, Assako loko sabban pahai gamaniyam. He says, life is nothing of its own. Life has to leave everything behind. Even though we have a lot of friends and properties, one day we have to leave everything. This is also one of the summaries of the Dhamma explained by the Blessed One why he became a monk. The fourth one he says, Uno loko atito tanha daso. The life is incomplete, dissatisfactory, and the slave of craving. Uno loko atito. Incomplete, dissatisfactory, and the slave of craving. This is the fourth summary of Dhamma explained by the Blessed One who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, knowing and seeing. Here in this, I went forth from the lay life into the monastic life, holy life. Friends in Dhamma, these are the reasons why he became a monk and attained enlightenment. This is the nature of our life. Here there is a very special word that Buddha says, Upaniyati loko adduo. Loka means the world. What is the world? World is that the created world by our ignorance. When we see something, when we hear something, when we smell something, when we taste something, when we touch something, when we think something, suddenly the world arises. Suddenly a world arises. We think that there is a world around us. We depend on outside because of our ignorance. Then the world has arisen. This is the nature of the ignorance. When we think something, we always think that there is a material world outside. We suddenly depend on outside because of ignorance. Whenever our mind is fixed in outside material worlds of persons, it means we are not away from suffering. When the outside world changes, we get suffering. But what is the reality? The reality is that when we see something, when we hear something, at the very first experience, we contact something with material world, with the four fundamental elements, earth element, water element, fire element, and air element. But when we understand it, when we comprehend or realize something, the first experience, the forms have already ceased. Because of our ignorance, we don't accept it. Every moment we think that there is a material world outside. It means we are in the samsaric circle, in the Patisampada, the dependent origination. When we are ignorant, mental formations arise. When mental formations arise, consciousness arises, which consists with ignorance. It means we are in the samsaric circle. If we are in the samsaric circle, we are not away from suffering. Upaniyati loko addo means when we have created the world with ignorance, then our world is going to age in and death. We are subject to decay and death because of ignorance, since we depend on outside material worlds. If we are able to overcome this ignorance, it means at the moment we are able to overcome the samsaric circle. It means we are free from suffering, which depends on outside material worlds. And also, attano loko anabisaro. There is no shelter, no protector. We always find shelter and protection in the outside. But outside world also hasn't real protection or shelter. They also find another protection from another situation. No one has protection or shelter. In this situation, what is the real protection, shelter, refuge that we can make in our life? The real protection is that Dhamma. Dhammang vinanatti pitacha mata. Except Dhamma, we have no real protection. We have no mother or father except Dhamma. What is the Dhamma? Dhamma means living with mindfulness and wisdom. Assako loko sabban pahai gamaniyam. We have to leave everything behind us. We have nothing of its own. Even though we think I have a lot of things, actually when we associate something, when we understand something, we always understand and realize with our mind. At the moment the material world has ceased. We always deal with our inner mind, our mental formations. When we deal with our mental formations, actually we have no material worlds in our life. But our ignorance doesn't accept it. We always think there is a world outside. That is why we depend on outside. In this situation, we have to leave everything behind us. Not only when we die, we have to leave everything, but even at the moment, we have left everything, but our ignorance or delusion doesn't accept it. We think we have a lot of things outside. Actually, we don't have even our physical body according to the supramundane level truth. The fourth one is that uno loco atito tanha daso. The world is incomplete, dissatisfactory, and the slave of craving. In this world, the ordinary people are unsatisfied. They always find something. Again and again, they want to earn something until they die. They have no satisfaction until they die. Why do they do that? They think that there is a world outside. I have to collect something for my inner peace. Even though we earn or collect material things outside, actually, we have no real peace of mind. We are unsatisfied. We find again and again, even though we receive the entire world, we are unsatisfied. We have no real satisfaction, even though we receive the world. That is why we should find a spiritual path. Reverend Rattapalas explains here why he became a monk. In this ordinary world, day by day we are going to old age, sicknesses, death, and separation. When we become these situations, we get upset, we get suffering. We have suffering when outside world changes. We have no real happiness. We always become suffering. That is why we have to live outside world. For that, we have to understand this reality. And also, attano lokvana bisaro, we have no real shelter or protection outside. Even though you may think that you have children, relatives and friends, one day they can't help you when you become sicknesses and reach the death. In this situation, we should find a real protection that we can make in our life as a refuge. And also, asako loko sabban pahai gamaniyam. One day, in a second, when we close our eyes at the end, we have to leave everything outside, even our physical body. In this situation, Buddha explains the real way how we receive the real protection or refuge. For that, we have to make a refuge inside. That is why Buddha says, dwell with yourself as a refuge, as an island with no other refuge. Dwell with the Dhamma as a refuge, as an island with no other refuge. How do we make a real refuge in our life? Practicing Dhamma. First of all, we should have the clear understanding how suffering arises and how suffering ceases. Whenever we are ignorant, when we see something, when we hear something, smell something, when we taste something, when we touch something, when we think something, we think there is a material world outside. Actually, we can contact something at the moment through the material world, with the material world. But when we understand something, when we realize something, the first experience has ceased. We experience and understand everything not through our five consciousnesses, but through our mind consciousnesses. That mind consciousness is also impermanent. It also arises and ceases at the moment. This is the vision. Vision should be first. Buddha says, Samma Ditti Pure Javam. Right understanding is first. Then we have mission. What is the mission? Mission is, with details, the Noble Eightfold Path. In short, practicing mindfulness. In another way, practicing samatha and vipassana, tranquility and insight meditation. How do we practice mindfulness? We keep our attention in the present moment. We contemplate on our body. This body arises and ceases at the moment. This body has arisen because of food and other reasons that we had. When those reasons cease, this body every moment ceases. This body is not a particular person. This is not mine, me or myself. This is just a result of some reasons or causes. And also, we are mindful in feelings. We receive feelings through our six senses. That feeling arises and ceases at the moment with some conditions such as contact and other reasons. When those reasons cease, feeling every moment ceases. It is not permanent. It is not mine. It is not me. It is not myself. It is just a result of some reasons. We realize the nature of feeling and contemplating on consciousness. The consciousness every moment arises and ceases. It arises because of some reasons such as mentality and corporeality. When mentality and corporeality arise, consciousness arises. When mentality and corporeality cease, consciousness also ceases. This consciousness is not mine, me or myself. It is just a result of some reasons. It is not a particular person. It is just a result. It is impermanent. It is selfless. It is dissatisfactory. And also mental formations. Mental formations arise because of some reasons such as contact and other reasons. When those reasons cease, mental formations also cease. This is the nature of our entire life. Our entire life is that five aggregates: Rupa, form, Vedana, feeling, Sanya, perception, Sankhara, mental formations, and Vijnana, consciousness. These five things arise at the moment as the result of our previous actions. The very first five aggregates are only the result. That is neither pleasant nor unpleasant. That is neither wholesome nor unwholesome. That is just a result of our previous actions. If we are ignorant, we take these five aggregates as me, as my, as myself. Then these five aggregates are going to cling into five aggregates, Pancha Upadana Khanda. We create the world. When we create the world, that world is subject to decay, subject to sickness, subject to death, subject to suffering, subject to separation. If we want to overcome the suffering of decay, sickness, death, separation like that, we have to overcome ignorance. Ignorance means we take these five aggregates as permanent, as satisfactory, as self. That is why suffering arises. If we are able to understand and realize the nature of the five aggregates, then we are not going to cling in of five aggregates. We go to the understanding of the cessation of the five aggregates, We are the corner of the end of the cessation of five aggregates. That means we don't touch suffering since we have overcome the samsaric circle. In this situation, Buddha says, our real refuge is that practice in mindfulness. If we know that there is nothing permanent, if we know that upaniyati loko adduo, life is unstable and swept away, and also attano loko anubissaro, there is nothing of its own, and also assako loko sabban pahaya gamaniyam, we have to leave everything behind, and also life is unsatisfactory, incomplete, and the slave of craving. If we want to overcome these sufferings, we have to come to the Dhamma. That is why Buddha says, if someone can live with wisdom by practicing Dhamma, Dhammo suchinno sukhamavahati, living according to Dhamma brings us happiness. How do we live with the Dhamma? Practicing mindfulness, being aware of our body and mind, being aware of the five aggregates. Every moment these five aggregates arise and cease. Whenever we think about this reality, at the moment, nothing or nobody can disturb our peace of mind since we don't depend on outside material worlds. Be sure that whenever we are dependent on outside with ignorance, it means we are in suffering. Outside persons and things can control our peace of mind. There we have no freedom, no emancipation, no satisfaction. Whenever we depend on inside, by practicing mindfulness, it means outside persons and things are unable to control us. We don't depend on outside world, we depend on inside. We depend on Dhamma, what the Buddha explained, mindfulness. Whenever we live with mindfulness, it means we have created the real refuge, protection, shelter, which cannot be stolen by anyone outside. Whenever we practice Dhamma, by practicing mindfulness, it means we are near the Supreme Buddha. We have real protection, even though Buddha has passed away. Living with mindfulness is the way how we live near the Supreme Buddha. Whenever we are away from mindfulness, it means we are near the Mara, who can control us, who can bring us suffering. In this situation, as wise persons, as the Buddha's followers, we have a real protection in our life. But that protection cannot be seen outside. We should create that protection, refuge, assurance, emancipation inside by listening to Dhamma, by practicing Dhamma, especially by practicing mindfulness with tranquil and insight meditation. These are the things that Reverend Rattapala explained for King Koravya. These are the reasons that he explained why he became a monk. Because day by day we go for old age and we reach the death. That is the reason why he became a monk. And also, he has no real protection or shelter outside. That is why he became a monk. And also, he have to leave everything behind. He has to leave everything behind. That is why he became a monk. And also, even though he has a lot of things, he was a son of the millionaire. He was only son of a millionaire. he knew that those things are not satisfied. Even though he had a lot of things, wealth, he understood that he has no real satisfaction, even though he was a son of a millionaire. That is why he became a monk and attained enlightenment and become the real satisfaction, liberation, emancipation, enlightenment. After this explanation, the reasons why he became a monk, King Koravi was so happy and he appreciated Bhante Rattapala and his virtuous life, spiritual life. This is the sutta of Rattapala as the summary why that we wanted to explain you. In this sutta, we can understand why we find a spiritual teacher and his sublime message. If we don't go to old age, we don't need to practice the Dhamma. If we don't die, we don't need to practice this kind of spiritual message. If we have a real protection or shelter outside, we don't need to practice the Dhamma. If we have satisfaction with what we have already, we don't need to practice the Dhamma. We need to practice Dhamma because of we have no real satisfaction with outside world, and also we have no real protection outside. That is why we should practice the Dhamma for our inner peace, for the real liberation, shelter, refuge, and satisfaction. For that, let's try to practice this valuable message, the sublime message, what the Buddha explained. By practicing Dhamma, one day we are able to not to depend on outside, then we can create a real refuge, assurance, insurance in our life by practicing Dhamma. For that, I wish you all the best. By the power of this listening to message, may your all spiritual wishes meet its success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. If you have any question about this discourse, Rattapala Sutta, which comes in Majjhima Nikaya, you can ask. If not, we are going to end the sermon. Today we discuss one of the discourses named Rattapala, which comes in Majjhima Pannāsaka in Majjhima Nikaya. This is a very important discourse. A young person who attained enlightenment, he explained the reasons why he became a monk. Before we become these situations, if we can practice the Dhamma and get the results throughout practicing Dhamma, that is the real result that we get through our life. I think as the persons who are listening to Dhamma, you have a chance to listen to Dhamma and practice to Dhamma, then you can make a real refuge in our life. For that, I wish you all the best. By the power of this spirituality, meritorious deeds, and wholesome mental thoughts, may our departed relatives also receive this merit, and also may they rejoice with this merit, and may they develop their spiritual path, and finally may they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's say Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. And also, by the power of this spirituality, may guardian deities and angels also receive this spirituality, and may they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they protect the world and the dispensation of the Buddha Sasana. May they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to guardian deities and angels to recite in the Gatha. Akasatthā ca bhummattha devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Akasatthā ca bhummattha devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu desanam. Akasatthā ca bhummattha devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu tvaṃ sada. By the power of this spiritual energy, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
සාදු ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ පෙරවන් සරණයි සියලු දෙවියන්ගේ පීඨ
Dukkhaṃ pantāca nirdukkhaṃ bhayaṃ pantāca nirbhayaṃ sokam pantāca nissokāṃ hontu sambe pipānino. May the triple gem bless you.
සාදු සාදු සාදු